Welcome back to another season of whitetail hunting. And I'm going to do something, actually going to do a few things a little bit differently this year. Instead of having single hunts where I'm hunting or Crystal's hunting or Jordan's hunting, we are going to break the season down into three different videos, so three different sections, and we're going to make it in chronological order. So that's one difference. The second difference is mostly for me. Going into 2024, I felt that I needed to do something different, kind of get out of my comfort zone, so to speak. I've been, for the last several years, I've been hunting the same farms and the same areas of bush over and over and over again. And don't get me wrong, and a lot of people are probably going to say, what the heck are you thinking changing it up because you've had such good success? And I have. I've been very blessed. But I felt that I needed to do something different this year. The appeal to me to go and search out new areas deep in the bush, away from farmland, that was something that I really felt compelled to do. So I spent a lot of time in the off season getting ready for whitetail season, had lots of trail cameras out, and that was my approach. So we'll get started. I really hope you guys enjoy this approach. Please leave comments and let us know if you like this or not. We can always go back to the way we used to do it, but here we go. I tagged out early in the elk season, so we're going to start in the bow season for whitetail.
Well, welcome to the 2024 whitetail season. And it's starting for me a lot sooner than it normally does. It's September 14th today. I was actually out hunting elk with Jordan this morning. He's going to hunt for deer this afternoon, so I found a really good buck in a different area than I usually hunt. So I came in and put a stand up 2 weeks ago, thinking that maybe I might get a chance to bow hunt. And here we are. So I got about 10 minutes yet to get to the stand, and lots of time in the day. Well, I'm in the tree. Took me a little bit to get in here, and it's a lot of stuff to pack in when you're trying to film a hunt. But we're in here now, so I'm not sure what to think. I have a couple of trail cameras in here. The one that I was looking forward to checking. So I have two, and one is way further back, and I'm not going to go check that one. There's one that I walk by on my way in here, and I checked that one, and it's saying there's no photos on the card. So I don't know if that's a card reader problem. The camera's not working. Unfortunate. There's lots of sign in here. There's actually even a couple of scrapes right down here in front of the tree. There's two main trails. One right out in front of me, and one behind me over here that go out to this big alfalfa field, and it is a good alfalfa field. The alfalfa in there right now is about a foot tall. So I'm hunting a buck that I named Pitchfork. He's got split brow tines.
I am back at home. You're all probably wondering what was wrong with that deer. Why didn't I shoot? How come I didn't fling an arrow? I made a mistake. I did not think that that was the deer that I was after. I heard the deer come in behind me, and I thought he was going to come in on my left, so I was kind of sitting sideways, anticipating a shot, because I couldn't see him. I could just kind of hear him. And then all of a sudden he was on my right. I had time to get the camera around and could not turn. I would have made too much noise in the stand if I would have tried to turn myself or stand up or anything. And he was through there and gone out to the field faster than, well, I guess not real fast, but it took him about 10 seconds to get through there, but just no shot. And after he left, I was like, I don't even think that was the deer I was after. I mean, it was a nice deer, but... And I got home and I looked at the footage on the TV, and there's no doubt about it. That is the deer that I'm calling Pitchfork. He's got the split brows. He's probably pushing 170 inch. He's a nice deer. The good news is I get to keep on hunting. So there's that. We'll see you guys on the next one, and maybe next week. Maybe next weekend I'll be back out there looking. So that was my first encounter with a really good buck. Came on the first night that I sat out there. I did hunt a few more times, like after that with the bow. Really didn't see much. Certainly didn't see any of the big bucks that I had in that area. We spent a lot of time trying to get crystal and moose this year. That took up a lot of time, and we weren't able to spend a lot of time whitetail hunting. So we'll pick up the action now. We're into November, and the rut is right around the corner.
the same spot that Crystal shot her buck last year. She's got whitetail tag and a moose tag, so we're looking forward to some action. And we're off to a good start with that. So. Just a little guy. You don't want to shoot him? Are you sure? Once in a while.
Good morning. So it's November 11th today. I'm just heading out for my first all-day sit. But I want to take you guys through a few things and how I prepare. I get asked a lot, how are you able to sit out there all day? And do you get bored? Don't you get cold? All these types of things. But what I want to refer to or talk about today as I go through the day is how I battle the cold. And it's not really that cold out. I think it's about -4 this morning. I'm supposed to warm up to around 0, so it's not that bad. But the wind's going to be blowing. It is going to be a little bit difficult, especially those first couple sits. It's amazing because after you sit for a couple of days, your body actually adjusts and it gets used to that. So then it becomes a bit easier. But those first few sits are difficult. So this is what I do. Obviously, you can see I'm wearing a base layer, a thermal base layer. This is a medium. They make light, medium, and heavyweight thermal layers. This is a medium. And most of the year I'll wear a medium, just it gives me better movement. And next, I go to a more of a like a secondary base layer on my torso. So this one is it's from Cabela's. It's an Instinct. I've had it. Actually, this first year I've used this one, but very good. Fits good and provides a lot of warmth. So that's the second layer. And then for my pants, over top of my underwear, for right now, for the temperatures that we're wearing or we have right now, I'm wearing the base layer, the thermal base layer. I'm going to put the Stand Hunter pants on. They're insulated but very quiet pant. Next, what I'll do, this has been a game changer for me. I got this last year. Actually, Crystal might have bought this for me. It is a heated vest. So I wear this right over top of my base layers. And what it does is it has a battery pack. Set that up later. But it has a battery pack. And this battery pack I can use for two things. One, I can use it to keep the vest on when I want it to. I hardly ever go through the whole battery in a day. But it's also another energy source that I can charge my phone if I need to. So that's what I have on for base layers. Over top of this, I'll put a hoodie, and then I have another jacket, a larger jacket that I'll put over. I'll show you guys that when I get to the tree. And then on my legs, I have the big insulated fleece stand bibs. And as it gets colder, all I'll do is I'll put more layers on between what I'm wearing now and these. But for today, for right now, the temperatures, that's going to be lots. And I'll probably be able to sit most of the day even without putting a big jacket on. These come up, they're bibs, so they come up over top of my torso. So that's how I dress for the weather. Every morning I start out with a little shot of vitamin C. So this is those vitamin C nutrient packs just mixed with water. 2 cups of coffee. Always have breakfast. You need to have breakfast before you go out. I don't have breakfast on a regular basis if I'm when I'm on my work days. But when I'm hunting, I have to eat breakfast. That really starts the day and gives my body enough energy that it stays warm, especially throughout the first part of the day. And pack a lunch. I've got lots of snacks. I'll talk more about my routine and my process once I'm in the tree.
November 15th. Just got in the stand. This is a spot that I've really been looking forward to hunt. It's about an hour quad ride to get in here. This is one of those spots way back in the bush that I don't think I'll see a lot of deer. But there are deer in here, and this is a spot where it's an area where you could have a deer 7, 8, 9 years old. Big bush bucks. That's the draw to this place. This exact spot has a bunch of trails. There's a big ridge to my right, a big ridge out in front of me, chance of seeing a monster back in a place like this is pretty good. So I do have a couple of nice bucks on camera. I don't know if I would shoot any of them. There's one wide 4x4 with these giant brown tines, but his 2s and 3s are pretty short, so we'll have to see. Looking forward to a good day. A little bit of snow overnight, so hopes are pretty high. Actually saw more deer than I was expecting to see, which is really, really encouraging for this spot. I ended up seeing 3 bucks, 2 does, and there was something else behind me here that I didn't see, but realize I'm not that far from where I was yesterday. And when you look at what I'm looking at in front of me, you're going to think that I'm in mule deer, elk country. And there definitely are some mule deer that roam through here, but what I got is a saddle. I'm right kind of at the top of this saddle. And the deer, I'm hoping, well, I know that they, from at least from time to time, they use this spot at the top of this saddle to go from this flat out to the east of me, up top to another flat to the west. And then this saddle actually runs way down, probably 2 miles. And if you were to walk it, you lose a lot of elevation. So I think that a lot of the animals, whether it's deer, moose, they use the top of this because it's not near as much of a climb rather than going down. Now, I'm sure that they cross down further as well. I've walked this saddle all the way down, and while there are good trails all the way down, it seems that right up here is the most used. There's also springs that come out of the ground right here, 80 yards in front of me, so there's water all year long. I made a pile of noise this morning coming in here and getting this set up. So I don't, I'm not real confident that today is going to be a stellar day. Certainly not this morning, but you never know. Bush deer, not real used to seeing people. Maybe it doesn't bother them. I don't know. We'll see. Bucks cruising during the rut. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that, either does are going back and forth between these flats, or the bucks are cruising, going from one flat to another looking for does. So that's enough for me for now. We'll get settled in here. See how today pans out.
So up till this point, I had got the chance to go out and hunt a lot of the areas that were new and the ones that I had really looked forward to going and spending some time in. But then we had a big weather shift and winds. We had winds coming out of the north consistently for 4 or 5 days in a row, north, northeast, northwest, but consistently out of the north. So none of the spots that I had, none of my new spots were set up for north winds. So back to familiar grounds I go, and we spend the next 4 or 5 days back in familiar territory.
Well, midday update. Extremely slow. I'm a little bit shocked, actually. I'm back, as you can see, I'm back closer to the farmland. And generally, the numbers are better here, so expect to see more deer. But so far, just one small buck. I got so much history with that deer. It's a buck I call Eyebrow. I didn't see him at all last year. I didn't hunt in November last year because I tagged out early. When I first saw him back, I think it's 2021 or 22. And he was, well, his rack has stayed about the same. He's a decent 5x5. He's put on some mass over the last couple of years, but his tine length and his width stayed about the same. I remember when I first saw him, I had a really hard time holding off. And I thought, if he was 3 or 4 years old, then he would grow to be a bigger deer. But he just didn't. He's a nice deer, but just not. He didn't turn into one of those giants like we thought. Good to see a buck up on his feet, though.
Yep,